family. Welcome to and welcome back. I'm Ronica, and I'm so ready to remind you to sow into your future. If you're interested, stay tuned. So in today's episode of Sow Into Your Future, we are going to be concluding the purple dress skirt set. Okay, guys, so let's just get right into it. Time is of the essence. Not really. Y'all, I was just going to be done with this outfit, but I really like it, so I'm going to go ahead and put these sleeves on here. Is that a headband? A scrunchie? So guys, y'all know how I was avoiding shaving my eyebrows? Well, I went ahead and shaved them today. And I think I butchered them. I'm pretty sure I butchered them. So this is how much fabric we have left. This is definitely enough for a dress, not a skirt set. Let's keep the party going. So I'm going to make a circle, I'm going to make a circle skirt. Maybe not a circle skirt. I just want to elongate it a little bit more and have some trim around it. Hot dog. So I just want to share with y'all this situation that happened. I don't know about y'all, but have you ever set out a mattress and you knew that, you didn't want your neighbors to see what this mattress looked like because it's old? Like it was like 3 relationships ago, maybe 4. For whatever reason, the mattress, it ain't new no more. That's the reason why it's going out on the curb. And so you wait until the wee hours of the morning, and you and your husband, y'all dragging it out there, under the protection of the midnight sky, only to have the trash people be a day late. Sometimes God uses things to humble us, situations and circumstances that you just feel like it is just crushing. You are so embarrassed and you don't understand why you got to go through this. Honey, humility comes before honor. God is about to elevate you. You about to come into a season of blessings. Y'all, I feel this thing strong. Y'all see them goosebumps? Y'all see them goosebumps? That happened probably 6 to 9 months. Was it 9 months? Okay, my timeline is off, but that happened a while ago. That wasn't recent. So that was for somebody. Anyway, this is so cute. I love this color. It's sticking to my hand because of the tape that was... Anyway, I'll edit that part out. So y'all need to come closer so y'all can see what I'm about to do. Yeah, don't be cringing and don't be shying away from... We learn obedience by the things which we suffer. That's when you really mature in the Lord, that's when you can count it all joy. When you fall into diverse temptations. That's when you can count it all joy. When no matter what comes, no matter what goes, you facing an eviction notice. You just found out your kids is half retarded. You know what I'm saying? They acting up. You going through HELL hockey sticks on the job. You find out that there's been a meeting about the meeting before the meeting and you wasn't invited. You know what I'm saying? You can count it all joy when you find out that you are in adverse situations, because it is just the testing of your faith. If you faint in the day of adversity, then your strength is small. Okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to mind my business. We're going to put some weights on it. Now, y'all do know that in the spirit, when you put weights on it, that's prayer and praise. You put some prayer and praise on it. And I may not be eligible to suggest fasting, but I know it works. I know it works. Honey, you put some prayer, praise, fasting. See, we don't have to fight like the world fights. When the world fights, they go and they get a stronger prescription. When the world fights, they go and they get a German Shepherd and they go and get what y'all call these pieces nowadays? A rocket. When the world fights, they go and get they big cousin, Mookie them. We all got a Mookie them in the family. When the world fights, They want to slander you on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. And just so y'all know, people who pronounce Instagram like Instagram, y'all need to go to the back of the line. Y'all are just, I'm sorry. Y'all need to be in timeout. It is not Instagram. All right, so we cut our piece. Now, y'all see that little hole right there? That may be problematic. Nothing's problematic. We probably don't even need that piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my skirt. And I know that this is the hip part because y'all see how snatched it is at the waist? And then it got that small little groove right there. That's what gives it a clinginess to it. Okay, let me stop. Anyway, but yeah, y'all, I don't care. I wish I would have known. I wish I would have had this type of information when I was a young girl going to school. You know, just growing up, period. Because when I would get embarrassed, you know, I remember going to the Goodwill, the thrift store on Minnesota Avenue, and I seen one of my classmates there. And y'all, I still remember the feeling that I felt seeing her there. Yes, she was there too, so I shouldn't have been embarrassed, right? But it was the look she gave me, like, as if she wasn't there, too. Probably just got through looking at the same clothes I was looking at. Because we both was in the same middle school. But for a long time, I would see her and I would like go the opposite direction. I would see her and I felt like she knew something about me that I felt like she had something over me. Something over on me. You know what I mean? And nobody or nothing should make you feel that way, especially when you are a child of God. Especially since he said that he will separate you from your sins as far as the east is to the west. Not saying poverty is a sin. Now the word does say the destruction of the poor is their poverty. But you can't help it. You can't help it if you're a kid and you're going through some, you know what I'm saying, some poverty situations. Everybody else got on Jordans and you got on something else that's not Jordans. You know, you got the Walmart special on. See, like I said, I wish I would have known that you can overcome shame, you can overcome embarrassment, you can overcome humiliation, because it's just seasonal and it has an expiration date on it. And if you go through it correctly, you can come out better behind it. But if you go through a season where you about to get evicted, you facing all types of traumatic situations, life transitions, because that's what life is. It's about a whole lot of swift transactions. Call the police. But yeah, and it's who are you navigating those transitions with? Has Jesus taken the wheel? Have you realized, Lord, not my will, but thy will be done? So right now I'm just putting pins around it because I don't want to cut too much that I don't need. But I don't want it to be a half of a, you know, thing as well. You know what I mean? Like that black dress. We don't want to show knee meat if we don't have to show knee meat in all our dresses. Anyway, let me close this window, y'all. It's Halloween. I don't want nobody. Don't try me. Try Jesus. Anywho. Hold on. I feel a sneeze coming. Woo! Excuse me. If that's not cute, then I'm going to edit it out. Anyway. So yeah, you know, no matter what situation you go through, Lord have mercy. You see it on the internet all the time. This one person, they recorded this girl. She had started her cycle, and they recorded her and was walking behind her because she had a white skirt on. And instead of them helping, because you know what, that a man sowed, the same shall he also reap. You know, they rather recorded and get a couple kikis and a couple likes and make some money off of it. Well, how many of you know that somebody's going to make some money off of his downfall or her downfall as well? That's just how it goes. It might be where they get in trouble with the courts and now they got to pay restitution. And they like, restitution? What? Or they might get a rent increase. You know what I'm saying? It literally comes back around to you. However, whatever you sow, it comes back around to you in different ways. And honey, when I tell you that God is so good in my life, that when I'm being a peacemaker and I'm trying my hardest to be a peacemaker, now sometimes I can be the little rascal too. Now don't get it twisted. Sometimes I can be the little rascal, but most of the time, when I got my head on straight, and ain't nobody irritating me. You know what I'm saying? When I'm thinking clearly, when I feel like I've been done wrong, unjustly and unfairly, it does get under my skin. I ain't gonna lie. I have to remember the scriptures. I have to remind myself to breathe and count to 10. How you doing? But for the most part, when I'm trying to be a peacemaker and I'm reading God's word and I'm praying and I'm asking him to show me the way, and somebody crosses me, I find that God takes great pleasure in swiftly recompensing them what they've done unto me. I said, Lord, have mercy. And I'm just like, it's mind-blowing. It is mind-blowing. So, and I know just like he does that on my behalf for me and my situations, I know that he has that same favor with other people. That's why I try to be careful who I mess with. Seriously. If you don't believe that, ask God to show it to you. The next time you get into it with somebody or a situation, you ask God to vindicate you. You ask God to be your father. You ask God to get them back. Or not get them back, but you ask God to bless them and be like, Lord, did you see what they did to me? Just bring it to God's remembrance. You know, sometimes the word does say we can bring his word to his remembrance. God, you said. Lord, you said. Father, you said. You know what I'm saying? And so when somebody messes with me, I'm just like, Lord, did you see that? Lord, are you aware of how this is making me feel? Because I know we have not a high priest who cannot be touched. For we have not a high priest who cannot be touched with the feelings of our infirmity. But he was tempted in all points, like as we are, yet without sin. So he feels what we feel. The feelings of our infirmity. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sew that, and then I'm going to glue the stripe around it. I just want to put this on here so bad. So bad. So I put some pins in it. And now this is this way. And I'm going to serge this. And so it's open. It's open. But I can always put some pins in it this way and serge that. So now we still have our extra length. Okay? Extra length. There's some words I struggle to pronounce, honey. I'm not going to even front. I'm not going to hold you. And I'm not going to be ashamed about it. English is not. It should not have been my first language. I should have been from Nigeria. You say, why you say Nigeria? I don't know. I feel like I have a connection with Nigeria. But you know what? Before 2024 goes out, I'm going to get me and Tony. I'm going to get us some of them DNA test things, because we're going to find out where we from. Especially Tony. I got to find out what tribe he from, because what part of the world he from, because at this point I am concerned. I mean, I'm just saying, anytime a black man don't like catfish, collard greens, what size we gonna need? Let's go ahead and take this to the serger. We need to get them sleeves ready too while I'm thinking about it. But y'all, whatsoever you do it as unto the Lord and not unto men. Once you realize that when all this is over with, it don't matter how pretty you are. It don't matter how clean your house. Well, your house do need to be clean. But it don't matter how nice your home is. How many shiny things you got on your coffee table. Okay? What's going to matter is, did God get the glory out of your life? Did people see Christ in you, the hope of glory? Did somebody say, look at your life and say, what must I do to be saved? I want that confidence. I want that reassurance. I want to have a relationship with God to where I know that if I have an enemy, God will deal with my enemies, no matter who they are. I don't care if 99 people like them. They mess with you, and you are walking upright before God to the best of your ability. Honey, look, I'm here to tell you. And that's why when he says pray for your enemies and talk about the hot coals being heaped on their head because you've given them something to eat. When you do it God's way, I don't know who said it, but the word will work if you work it. If you do it God's way, you're going to get God's results, honey. Every time. And that's why no matter how big the giant, no matter what comes, no matter what goes, as long as you trusting in God, he's going to continue to subdue your enemies and take out your adversaries. I'm serious. I am serious. And just like I know he'll do that for me, he'll do it. If I come against somebody that God feels that way about, that's just the kind of God he is. Come on now. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living God. That's why he said, give honor to whom honor is due. Because in some houses, there are some vessels unto honor and there are some vessels unto dishonor. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm going to put some, I want to say some clamps, but with this particular fabric, I think I'm just going to put some pins. Remember, you have to end on a good note. That'll make you want to come back to it. But I want to end this today. This purple outfit is as cute as it is, and it is cute. I know I jump subjects. Y'all should be used to it by now. What matters is that God is being edified and glorified. That's what matters. That somebody can come away from your channel, come away from your presence, come away from your cash register, wherever you work, whatever you're doing, and they can feel hope. If you have the ability to suck the life out of a room, if you have the ability to make people want to go to the bridge when they leave your presence, something is wrong. And I've been that kind of person before. I've been the kind of person that was miserable. I remember my sister's friends, they would come around and, ooh, I'm about to put that the wrong way. Look at me. They would come around and one of them, she said, ooh, we went over my grandma's house this weekend and we had too much fun. And I remember being young and being a party pooper. And I was like, ain't no such thing as too much fun. Yes. Yes, honey. I was under the fifth grade. Because they moved away before, yeah. And also, another thing I want to clear up is that I seen, rewatched one of my videos, and I was talking about how I was like, when I say foster care, I'm talking about living away from my mother. I want to clear that up so it's clear. We were in foster homes and group homes, okay? But we also lived with family for a spell there. Different family members. We lived with grandma. We lived with Aunt Evelyn, Aunt Dorothy. I'm just name dropping. Let me stop doing this. We lived with my mother's sisters, both of them. Who else? Where else did we live? Child. We was in one foster home. It was It was an older white lady. She was an old white lady. But her name was Grandma Billy. If you're in Kansas City and you know who I'm talking about, shout out to you or shout out to her. She probably gone by now. Lord rest her soul. Yeah, she had 4 refrigerators. I remember that. 4 refrigerators, and they had multiple like beds in one room. And I remember looking out the window at the backyard at nighttime. And it was so peaceful. I was up at night just looking out the window. But and then we stayed. Why do I get on? Boy, I be getting. Is this a tangent? Is that what that is? I'm supposed to be doing this one off camera. Lord have mercy. Now, a lot of times I don't tell, because y'all know I'm an open book. I could care less. The way how I see it is, if I'm gone from this planet tomorrow, if I leave this earth tomorrow, I don't want to leave here with something that can help somebody still in my spirit, still in my mind, still in my archives. You know what I'm saying? I want to be as helpful and useful as possible. But the thing is that I have other people involved in this story that I don't know if they want, well, I know they don't. Talking about siblings. I know they don't want me to, share or whatnot. And then some stuff I don't do out of respect for my husband. Not that he asked me to, but just out of respect for him. The Bible says a virtuous woman is a crown to her husband, but she that maketh the shame is as rottenness in his bones. And y'all seen his bones. We don't want no rottenness in them bones. So yeah, honey, y'all would know all my little business. Only because I know it helps somebody. When people are transparent, let me get on this sewing machine. But yeah, when people are transparent, and I come across, real people, that's what I call them. Want to see you come up out of your depression and your whatever. I went to the store and got all that meat and left it on the stove. I need to put that in the refrigerator and start cooking. But, yeah, I come across those people and I feel blessed. I feel like God has smiled on me and he has honored me for whatever reason, and that I feel like a season has shifted because they have given me something, given me some tools to work with that's going to strengthen me. We are encouraged by the testimony of others. But if you feel like ain't nobody went through what you went through, if you feel like ain't nobody, battling what you battling, nobody's come out from this, you need to know that God is a restorer of the breach, that he is a repairer of the breach. I'm telling you, when I grew up and I would hear the saints testify, and I'm sure somebody was in their carnal mind in the congregation, they was probably thinking, why they say that same testimony all the time? I just want to thank the Lord for being here, giving honor to my pastor and all the saints of God. And I just want to say that God is a mind regulator. He is a heart fixer. You know what I'm saying? And they would say the same testimony over, but I held on to the part where they said he's a mind regulator. So when I started going through my issues and depression and all those other things, because spirits travel in packs. So you got depression and all that he brings in. And I started going through that, and I was like, Lord, I heard you. If you're real, I heard you're a mind regulator. You know what I'm saying? And he showed up as a mind regulator. I heard you was a provider. He showed up as a provider. I heard you was a way maker. I heard you was a deliverer. I heard you was and everything that he's that and then some. He's all that and then some. He is the only one that is worthy of the glory, worthy of the honor, worthy of for us to boast in. My boast, what did he say? My boast shall be of the Lord. Yeah, don't have no confidence in the flesh, but have confidence in Christ Jesus. He's going to be the one doing the work. And if you forgot and you thought it was about you, remember that in me, that is, in my flesh, dwelleth no good thing.